It's the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in.
Talk to us about when you got to the point where it's like, all right, I'm cool, I'm ready. Um, I want to now take this business income and put it into real estate. Talk to us about getting to that point.
For me, I just know that the stock market is pretty volatile, and then an asset class like real estate is pretty stable. So if I were to make this much profit in the stock market, it kind of be counterintuitive to throw it back in the stock market because there's a chance I could lose all of it. So I took some of that profit and put it into real estate just because I know that that money's pretty safe there and has time to appreciate and grow in value. So that and I've always loved real estate, so I thought that was a good decision.
Definitely, definitely. I hear you. I hear you. So, you want to invest. You're ready to invest. As a 19-year-old, how did you even go about it? Like, how did you go? I need to find the deal. How did you go about that?
For me, it's trial and error. It was everything trial and error. It's just, I think, so it was funny how it played out. I was actually inquiring about a different property when I found it, the property I closed on. I never seen it on the market before because it was listed incorrectly as a single family. So I was looking for multifamily, so I wasn't interested in single families. So I think a realtor sent it to me, texted it to me, and I told him, sure, I'll go look at it. I don't mind. And when I went to look at it, it was a multifamily, and that was when the trade had started hitting off, and I known that I was gonna have this much capital to put down, and then I wasn't able to get the financing I wanted, so I had to go get private money, and that was like a rabbit trail. I talked to so many different lenders and was trying to get pre-approved. It's tough at my age just because I'm so young. I didn't have the tax returns. I don't have any experience. It's hard for a lender to just give me a couple $100,000. So that was difficult, but I finally got financing, and then that was when I put an offer in, went back and forth a little bit, and then finally closed about a month later.
Man, so walk us through that deal. So you mentioned that you had to get financing and so forth. So can you I guess walk us through how you had to structure that? Just given that as you mentioned, you didn't you're brand new, you're 18, 19. Yeah, walk us through what the I guess the financing aspect was like.
The financing was pretty tough. I had to talk to a lot of different lenders, and they all, for some reason, every lender I talked to didn't really want to finance me on a rental loan. So I actually, at the end of the day, I had to go with a bridge loan, and so it's a 1 year bridge loan. It's a short term loan, so I'll have to either refinance or sell the property before the year is up. And it's at 20% down, so pretty standard. And yeah, that would and it's the interest rate is pretty high. It's like 8.49%.
Mhm.
So that's not that it's but my payments are interest only, so it's not too bad. I still cash flow pretty well, but yeah, the financing was pretty difficult.
Got you, got you. That makes sense. Was the tenant was the unit
Uh,
occupied? Did it need to be rehab? Was it ready to go?
ready, yeah, I was ready to go. So all three units were tenant occupied, so I didn't have to do anything tenant wise. Yeah,
Got
that
you.
was that was a seamless transition. That was pretty good.
Got it. Got it. That makes sense. That makes sense. Got it. That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So as far as the bridge loan, so is it basically do you plan to refinance? Like, well, I guess if you plan to refinance, what would you need to show to a bank to make you financeable? Like, what would that look like?
So that's the thing. I don't know if I'll be able to refinance just off the to it as a with a bank. I know that I could refinance with a private lender. Like my lender told me that they'll be able to refinance my loan if I
Oh, got
were
it.
to get that value up to where it needs to be to refinance.
Got it.
But I'm thinking numbers wise, it might be better to sell the property just because cash I have to put into it to do cosmetic rehab and drive the value up might be not worth it at the end. If I was going to do a cash out refinance or just a regular refinance, might be better. It might be more profit to just sell it and take that profit and do another deal.
Got it. So you got some options. You got some options. I think that's like the great part about real estate, right? Like I always tell people, like I was just talking to somebody earlier. I said real estate is really about how creative you can get. Like
Right.
it's not really about who has the most money. It's about who's the most creative, who's the most persistent and diligent. You know what I mean? Because think about it, right? How many lenders do you think you spoke to before you found one that will work with you?
At least 100. At least 100.
Can you repeat that?
At least 100
At least a
different
hundred.
lenders. Least.
How many
Yeah.
people would call, would get
Exactly.
100 no's before they get a
Mhm.
yes?
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
Lots of lenders.
so you could have been sitting on cash, but wanted to get a
Yep.
lender. But if you weren't persistent enough, you wouldn't have
Mhm.
gotten to 101 who said yes. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So it's like the persistence, it's the creativity, because it's like, when you got it seems like when you got the deal, you realize it's like, all right, I'm not necessarily lendable at this time, but I got to figure something out to close on this.
Right. Exactly.
And so at that point, you then either you have a choice. You walk
Hmm.
away, or you try to figure out, is there a creative strategy I can employ to try to make this happen for
Hmm.
right now? So, I
Right.
think you did a
Exactly.
great job of that too.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Exactly. It at the end of the day, it all came down to me being creative and just pushing, trying to get the deal done. Yeah.
Definitely.
Mhm.
So, what was going through your mind? Just the fact that, you're in college, right? Your first or second year,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure you're studying, you're doing all these things, and you're also trying to close on a property. Like, what was that experience like? Like the average the majority of us, right? It's like, work, family, and trying to like do real estate. But you're in school, right? You're a full time student. So what is that like? What is that experience like during that time?
Uh, it wasn't too hard last semester. Doing at the end of the semester, it wasn't bad. It wasn't too bad. I didn't have as many classes as I do now, and it just wasn't. I would wake up early. I remember every morning I would wake up and be on the phone early every morning before class. In the morning I'd be on the phone, and I'd be up all night for the most part. But now it's gotten pretty stressful dealing with tenants and all this paper. All it's yeah, it's stressful. And I have 18 credits this semester.
Wow.
This semester has been a lot. Yeah.
What's your major?
I have a double major. I have majoring in finance and economics.
Got it. Got. Oh man, so you're the numbers guy.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, man. Are you self managing currently, or do you have a property manager?
Self managing.
Have you so
Yeah.
walk me through this. Walk me through this, right? I don't
Mhm.
know how old your tenants are, but like, what is what was that like when they saw you? Like, oh yeah, I'm the landlord. Was it like, man, please, you ain't no landlord? Like, what was that first interaction like, and what are the interactions like now?
Oh, yeah, actually, it's crazy. I've met them because I've been on the property before. Like I was there today,
Yeah,
uh, doing a walkthrough, and they went to measure the property. So I was there today, but I don't think that they know that I'm their landlord because I'm so young. So
yeah,
I go out there today, and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" They was just like, "Hey," and they just I don't think they know. I think the second unit does know that I'm their landlord though, because when I communicate with them, they say like "dude" and like they like try to talk to me like they're because they're young as well. I
oh,
think
got you. Okay,
think they might be seniors in college, so they're like 22, maybe 23.
yeah.
So they just like talk to me like we're friends. Like it's a little weird, but
I got you. I got you. Three units, right?
yes, 3 units. Yeah.
Got you. Okay, okay. That's cool, man. Man, that's so crazy. Like you're in your dorm room right now and you own a property minutes away. That's like, I'm just trying to think, when I was in college, like when most of us in college, like, we in the dorm or we in an off-campus apartment. Anybody own anything? Like nobody was out
Right.
here buying properties. You know what I mean? So that's crazy, man. How does your family feel about it? Like what were their thoughts, and was there anybody who told you that you're too young to do it early, like during this process?
Um, I mean, family wise, immediate family, outside family, they don't. Except for my cousins. Of course, my cousins know, but like aunts and uncles, they didn't really know till after. But immediate family, I mean, my mom would tell me that she thinks I'm too young. But in the same sense, she's like, she tells me I can do whatever I want to do. It doesn't really, as long as I don't involve her, she doesn't really care. I mean,
Yeah.
she was super happy for me, yeah. But as far as the process, she was like, why don't you just wait a couple of years? Why don't you wait till you graduate? Focus on your schoolwork, and that's what she'll tell me. But after I closed, of course, she was happy, but she just didn't
Yeah.
want anything to do with it while I was going on.
Yeah. I understand. I
Yeah.
understand. That makes sense. And what about your friends? Like, what is that interactions like? Or is this something that like inspires them? Because I would imagine if one of my boys bought a property when we were freshmen or sophomores in college, like that would just blow my mind as far as like what's possible. Because I didn't know, like, when I was in college, I had to like, my senior year, we had a landlord and he owned properties within the town the school was in, but And I was like, oh, cool. You know, he got some properties, but he didn't look like me, you know, and he
Right.
was obviously not my age. So
Mhm.
if I had one of my friends buy a property in where our school was at, that would like change the game for me. I mean, as far as like what we can do in spite of our age. So what is that interaction like now with your friends who are your age or your classmates who are aware? What has that been like since you purchased the property?
As far as classmates, a lot of classmates and people that go to the school have reached out to me. I mean, I'm still looking at DMs to this day that from people like, hey, yeah, I'm one of your classmates. I go to UNCG, and I still try to answer those. As far as my friends, my friends they definitely don't treat me any different. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just, but most of my friends are pretty motivated, and most of the people around me are pretty motivated. So it's kind of the same energy that's around me. Everybody's motivated. Everybody's like on the same accord. So it's pretty much the same.
Hi everyone, Sam here from the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Make sure to hit that notification bell and that subscribe button and to visit us at blackrealestatedialogue.com.